What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we got a big unboxing. This one's coming from Monsterbass. This is the February 2022 ZMan Takeover. You heard right. Every single bait this month that you get in this box is from ZMan. And I don't know if you guys know this, but here at BurlyFishing, we use a lot of ZMan products, especially the good old Ned rig. Now, there is no Ned rig in this, which made me sad, but there are plenty of awesome things in this to make it an insane value, and definitely one of the best, if not the best, Monsterbass box that I've ever gotten. And you guys know our history with Monsterbass goes way, way back to the beginning of the channel. Some of the first unboxings we did were from Monsterbass, and we've been working with them ever since. However, that said, I can say with no bias whatsoever, this is a fantastic box and one that you guys will definitely want to pick up. If you do, we've got a code in the description below, so please consider using that. And if you guys like the content, of course, be sure to subscribe, smash a like, ring the notification bell. Come back Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. We go live right here on the channel, and we hang out with some of the coolest people in the fishing industry. It's definitely a live you're not gonna wanna miss. Real quick, last thing before we get into this unboxing, if you want one of these here decals or one of these here shirts, the fantastic Ned Rig Nerds apparel and decals are available right now. As of the dropping of this video, you got 3 days to pick one up if there's any supplies left. So click the link in the description below or click the link in the comment below that I've pinned, and then you can get your own. All right, y'all, what's inside this box? Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Okay, so first of all, you get not one, not two, not three, but 4 bags of ZMan plastics. Let's take a look at what we got here. Grabbing at random. So first one, I love these things. Razor shads. These are some of my favorite chatterbait and spinnerbait trailers. Fantastic. Mostly I use them on chatterbaits. They come in a variety of fantastic colors. This one right here, Fire Craw, is going to be perfect for the spring. So as soon as this freaking ice goes away, sick of all these winter storms. I know you guys have been hit with this. We've been hit with it too. It sucks. I'm sick of the cold. I'm sick of the snow. I got my ice fishing in. I feel pretty good about it. It's time for spring. I know you're feeling the same way. So as spring revs up, I can definitely see throwing a color like this, and I'll probably pair it up with a good old Fire Craw chatterbait. I don't know, maybe like this one that I just picked up, the Chatterbait Mini Max. Now this might be a little big for a Mini Max. Actually, it doesn't look that bad, but you can always just go ahead and slice the head off there and it'll fit any size chatterbait. These are brand new as well. This did not come in my box. I just picked up a few. In fact, here's 3 of my favorite colors. You got chartreuse and white, you got bluegill with that gold blade there, and you got Fire Craw. So of course this would be a perfect pairing for that. So what I love about these, jointed action right there means that this tail is going to be moving like crazy. And look at the tail itself. Inline tails like that are perfect for bladed jigs. So I definitely recommend this. And of course it's ZMan Elastec, so it's going to last for a million bites. Next up, we got minnows in one of my other favorite colors from ZMan. It's called the Deal, and it's like this baby blue, green pumpkin with blue flake. Look at that shine there. Fantastic. You got the Elastec as well, and these are super easy to rig on one of my favorite jig heads to use, which is the ZMan Finesse Eyes. Those things are fantastic. They got a really light wire bait keeper on it, so it's really easy to rig up. You just kind of like pull that Elastec over that bait keeper and you're good to go. These have like a nice subtle boot tail to it, nothing too big and honking. So it's going to have good action, but it's also going to clear cover pretty well. And if you're throwing it on a spinnerbait or a chatterbait or something like that instead of just a straight jig, it's not going to bring you too high up into the water column. So pretty solid bait. And if you're throwing little paddle tails, this is one that'll last forever. Ooh, next up we got the Goat. It's called the Goat for a reason. It's a pretty good all-around bait. Now you got a million options with these, and they do come in different sizes. This is the larger 3.75 inch size in green pumpkin. Now, as we all know, you can't go wrong with green pumpkin, and ZMan makes a pretty solid green pumpkin shape. Now here's the deal with the Goat. You get these little tail section here, so it reminds me of kind of like a Strike King Menace craw, right? One of those like inline craw style baits. These things are fantastic if you want to go around just flipping it, Texas rigging it. Even Carolina, because of the buoyancy of ZMan Elastec. This is a fantastic Carolina rig trailer and one that I'm definitely gonna go throw because it's got that slim profile. Looks like an easy meal for a fish to come up and chomp on. And you're gonna get great action out of the little claw section because of that flange that you see on the end. You've also got like these little tiny knobbies there, just a little added touch, a little something different. But these pieces are gonna last a long time, even with how thin they are because of that Elastec strength. So these are awesome. Something I definitely want to Texas rig and Carolina rig a lot. Of course, you can always just throw this thing up on a flipping hook and just flip it around. It's got a nice thick body to it. So solid all around bait. I've even taken the smaller size one, which I think is like 3 or a little under 3 inches, and rigged it up on a Ned rig. So plenty of options with a bait like this. Okay, last plastic set that we've got in the box is one that was new to me. I actually recently got one from a subscriber in a nice shad color. This is the Finesse Shads in Pearl, and you can't go wrong with Pearl. I mean, white baits, any style of bait can be fantastic in most waters that you're fishing. Now these things are awesome because they're slim and trim. They're Elastec again, so they're gonna last forever, and it's just a straight tail shad. It's even got like a little hook keeping section there. So you can do a million things with this. What I really like to do with this though is throw it on like a more subtle shaky head. So a little smaller, finessey, shaky head. Jig is gonna be fantastic because of the buoyancy again of the Elastec. You're gonna see this tail standing up real nice, and it's gonna have a ton of action in it, just like that. Look at that thing go. So you're gonna get bit. You can also Ned rig it. You can throw it on a smaller EWG hook. You can flip it. You can go weightless with it. You can Carolina rig it. You can do a million things. The cool thing about this box right now is that all these plastics are super versatile. So I can do so many things with them. And you're getting plenty of plastics with each of these packs, and they'll last a long time because of the Elastec. So you get 8 with the Finesse Shads, 4 with the Goats because it's bigger, 4 with the Razor Shads, again, because mostly that clamshell packaging. And then you actually get 6 of the minnows. Okay, but that's not it. Those are 4 baits. We got 4 more here because these are what we're gonna rig all that stuff on. Let's take a look. I'll start with the one that I'm not the biggest fan. Actually, the only thing in this box that I'm not like the biggest fan of, but still a decent bait, is the Chatterbait CFL. It is a football head jig with a blade on it. So a little different take on your bladed jig, your standard bladed jig. This is a bladed football jig. And I do have one, and I wanna say it's in the same color or close. But this right here is PB&J time. I do like that subtle hint of purple down there in the skirt. Super cool skirt color. You've got just the standard lead molded bait keeper on here, as you can see right there, but it's pretty easy to rig with the ZMan Elastec, so that is nice. Pretty stout hook to it. I mean, you gotta imagine if I'm throwing around a football head jig, a swing jig at that, right? Tons of action here. I'm probably throwing it in heavier cover or up on rocks and stuff like that. So I want like a more stout hook, especially since this is one you can also play off the bottom. You've got a much more stout wire line tie there than you're gonna see on most of your chatterbaits. And then you've got a painted blade. That's a brown painted blade right there. Pretty heavy duty blade as well. It's not flimsy at all. It's gonna be really hard to bend in any way, shape, or form. But I have used these in the past. Now, I don't really particularly throw a lot of swing jigs or football jigs. I'm probably missing out. So mostly that's why this is not my favorite bait in this box, just because it's a technique I don't use that much. Got a heavy banded like spider skirt setup to this. It looks good, probably fishes good. If you guys use football jigs or swing jigs a lot, you're probably gonna love this different variation with that blade attached to it there. But yeah, this is one that you can really let like drop to the bottom, rip up top. You can run it through heavier rock sections, especially in the river. I know it can work, it's just not a technique I'm super comfortable with, but still, nonetheless, you're getting that in the box. Next up, super versatile option here, and I really like these things. Actually don't have any yet, so this is super cool to get, but we got the swim bait eye in silver and gold, or just the lead base and gold on the eyes. These things are awesome. 1/4 ounce VMC hook. Ooh, nice and stout. Check that out. I love the line tie. This little positioning of that line tie there is nice. It's gonna rig much better or look much more natural for any of the plastics we throw on this. You got like the heavy duty lead bait keepers there, easy to rig for Elastec plastics, which is important, and that nice stout hook. Perfect swim bait setup. Next up, I have used these before, but not in this color. And I like this color better than the one I have. So a little pearl willow vibe with that silver willow blade there. If you guys haven't used these before, it's kind of a new take on a chatterbait. It even says right there, chatterbait. And what you get with that is you get this nice round jig head, which I like. A little bit more of a finessey hook with a finesse wire bait keeper, which is nice, easy rigging. And then you get the willow blade, check that out. Got the same kind of snap ring that you would use on most chatterbaits for that line tie. And it's gonna give you like a really subtle action in the water. Look at that. So that's kind of what you're getting as it's vibing through the water. So totally different sound, look, feel, vibration than you get from most chatterbaits. And I like that. When I want a different presentation, this gives me a great option. If I'm rocking like my regular chatterbaits or bladed jigs, and then I've got like a stealth blade, the jackhammer stealth blade from ZMan, and then I've got one of these, or the CFL even, I've got a whole slew of different options that I can throw at them if just one singular type of chatterbait or bladed jig isn't doing the trick. But love these things, absolutely fantastic. And finally, one that actually Debo's Fishing turned me on to, and that would be the Cross Eyes chatterbait. This one coming in good old green pump. These things are pretty rad, check it out. So we got nice standard green pumpkin skirt color, looks great. You can also see that the skirt is tied on with a wire there, so this ain't going nowhere. Nice stout and kind of wide gap hook. And then you've got the wire bait keeper there. But check this out. This is why this type of a chatterbait is so appealing. So you actually have a different jig head shape, kind of better for getting through cover. A nice wide head, there's your cross eyes, like a little goofball. And then you've got these wire brush guards here, which are moldable. You can move them around a little bit if you want. It's split so that you get easy hookup action. And this is gonna be much better than kind of your standard chatterbait with no brush guard or no wire guard at running it around like wood and cover. You're gonna get snagged far less. Other than that, you got the original chatterbait blade. So you got that nice standard blade setup that's gonna be fantastic as well. Absolutely heckin' solid, one that everybody should have in their arsenal, especially when you wanna run a chatterbait, but you got a ton of cover in that situation. This will do the trick. All right, you guys, there we have it. That is the ZMan Takeover box for Monsterbass this month. That is the February 2022 box. So if you order your box within the month of February or your subscription renews, you're gonna be getting this box. Highly recommended. If you held off last month or a previous month or over the winter, renew your subscription. Get back on track. We're getting some banger boxes coming out right now, and there's tons of gear totally worth that subscription. Again, if you want to pick up a box, you can do us a favor by using our link in the description below to order it. That helps out a lot. You can also use code SAVE15, SAVE15 to get 15 bucks off of your first box. That's right. You could get this box for basically 20 bucks, which would be an insane value. So don't skip out on it, jump in, grab the box, do the thing. And don't forget that the Ned Rig Nerd apparel, this shirt right here in black, and this decal right here, that's right, heavy duty decal. Not gonna wear out in the sun, not gonna fade away, not gonna get destroyed very easily. This is a heavy duty deal. Put it on your boat, put it on your bag, put it on your truck, do whatever. If you wanna pick one up, click the link in the description below or the pinned comment right down below as well. As always, be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that notification bell so you can see when we post more content, and click the like button down below. That helps us out a ton. And hopefully we see you on one of these upcoming Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, when we go live right here on YouTube and talk to some really cool people in the fishing industry. That's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you're having an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next video.